Hey there, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple driven by intentional living and adventure.
Burned out from the 24/7 grind of running our business, we traded the hustle and the bustle for something more meaningful.
We parted ways with most of our belongings and moved to the coast.
Listen along as we chat about life's challenges, share inspiring stories of those who have taken big leaps to live a life outside of the norm,
and help you live with more intention and less physical and mental clutter.
Each episode is a step toward doing and being just a little bit better for ourselves and the world around us.
Life's an adventure after all. Join us for the ride.
It's the Arner Adventures podcast. Hello, everybody out there in podcast land.
Hi. We're back for another exciting episode. I'm really excited about today.
Oh, I am too. Yeah, this is one of my more faves in a long time. This is going to be fun for us, and I think it'll be fun for everybody else too.
Yeah, and let me just tell you kind of how this topic came to mind. I went to see my nieces recently, and I was telling one of my nieces who was getting ready to go to high school, I was like, I really miss when you thought that we were really cool. And she actually said, well, I think Jerry's cool. And then I started thinking about all the things. Well, wonder why she doesn't think I'm cool anymore, but maybe because I'm trying too hard.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking to myself, I pulled that one off pretty good.
But it did.
How I did that, but
it made Jerry and I think a little bit more about, what are some things that we love that aren't so cool anymore? But we don't really care that they're not cool. We're still going to like them anyway. It's kind of like when you say to someone you were listening to NPR that morning, It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't really care that no one thinks that's cool. I really love listening to NPR. But,
yeah.
And that's actually not one of the 12 things on here.
But that's true, yeah.
But our list is 12 things we secretly love that aren't cool anymore. And we think this is a really great conversation about, still enjoying the things that you want to enjoy. Who cares what people think about it? And maybe this will be a little nostalgic for you. Maybe it'll get you to appreciate some of the things that you do love and don't hide it,
Yeah, that's true. And I think a lot of these are actually, they have a pretty good niche following anyway. So they are cool with a pretty good amount of people, just not a mainstream sort of.
Yeah, not the masses.
Yeah, not the masses. Yeah.
Well, so let's just get to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's get to it.
You know that time of year when the windows are open and Ruby and Nugget are in and out all day on the catio and you just want life to feel a little lighter?
Yeah, and one thing we've had for all these years that still gets used every single day is our Cozy Earth stuff.
Their bamboo sheets are our favorite this time of year. They're cool, soft, and they don't trap heat, which is important because neither of us likes to wake up sweaty.
Especially me. I run a little hot, and I can definitely tell a difference.
But it's not just the sheets. We practically live in their loungewear. Some mornings start with coffee on the porch, then taking Rue and B for a walk. And before you know it, when we're heading back from the walk or an easy hike, we've not even changed.
That's what I love about it. It's comfortable enough for lazy Sundays, but it doesn't feel like pajamas. I've worn Cozy Earth stuff on road trips, around the fire pit, and just about everywhere in between.
And speaking of those Cozy Earth pajamas, I don't think I've seen you voluntarily wear jeans around the house in years.
Well, because jeans have no elastic stretch. And that's what I've gotten to like. The stretch knit pajama pants have ruined me. I wear them so much that if they're in the wash, I start wondering what I did before Cozy Earth.
He's not kidding, you guys. I think really, Jerry, you own jeans just to make appearances.
Probably true.
And after years of washing everything, the quality has really impressed us. On all of the items, there's no pilling, no fading, just pieces we reach for over and over again, including those sheets.
Yeah, whether we're working from home, traveling, hanging out with the pups and Nugget, or sneaking away for a little venture, Cozy Earth has become part of our everyday life.
And if you've been wanting to treat yourself, you can save on sheets, loungewear, robes, everything site-wide by visiting arneradventures.com/cozyearth.
It's one of those upgrades you notice immediately.
And one that makes coming home feel even better.
You're darn right.
So, today's society, news arrives through notifications, groceries appear at your door, there's an algorithm that chooses what we watch. Sometimes I really doubt my algorithm. I don't know why it serves me up certain things, but whatever. We can order lunch without talking to anyone. I do love that. Travel through a new town without ever looking up from our phones. Oh, don't do that while you're driving. But a lot of this convenience, it's great, right? But it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily always make life better.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Now, are you saying don't look up from your phone while you're driving?
I am saying that.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. No,
Okay.
don't do that, meaning don't look at your phone while you're
Oh,
driving.
I think I just heard it the wrong way.
No, I think I said it the wrong way.
Okay.
I think I said it the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's some supposedly old-fashioned things naturally make us slow down, pay attention, and interact with the world around us. They may take a little longer, but that extra time is often what makes them enjoyable. I do this with so many things. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So maybe they're not considered cool anymore. We still love them, and
Yeah.
we're going to tell you what they are.
Yeah. So old-fashioned habits tend to require more of our attention, which is good. It's sort of like when we talked about the analog bag a little bit ago.
Yeah.
The analog bag is actually, that was a blog. I don't think it was a podcast. It was us talking about having things on hand that are not digital,
Yeah.
like a adult coloring book or an actual book that you read,
Mm-hmm.
cross stitch, something that gets you your hands and your mind off of things that are digital.
Yeah.
Reading a newspaper, wandering through a bookstore. Gosh, we love that.
Mhm.
Or the library.
Making pottery.
Making pottery.
Yeah.
We don't do it, but I'm sure it's
No.
fun.
Yeah. And it's probably not considered cool.
And you know, it doesn't provide the same instant gratification as tapping on a screen does, but that's sort of the appeal. That's what we're trying to get to here. So, you know, we're going to just go through a few old-fashioned things that make life better, and we hope never disappear completely. And you'll have to let us know if you resonate with any of these.
That's right.
Let's
yeah.
start with the first one.
Reading a newspaper. We used to really love reading a newspaper. In fact, I feel like we got a regular newspaper,
We did for a little bit.
yeah, for a pretty long time
Hmm.
before when we were first married. And that just ended probably in the last 10 years sometime. But it's a great pastime. And I know I've rediscovered it a few times when we're traveled somewhere, and a hotel will usually have like the USA Today or whatever, and it's like, oh, a newspaper. You pick them up and you look at things, and it's a neat way to hide your face if you don't want anybody to see how grumpy you're looking in the morning. You kind of hold it up in front of your face. It's a little private world like
Sure.
that. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
We went to Charleston recently to a hotel there, the Harbor View Inn,
Yep.
and we really loved it because in the mornings with your breakfast, you got a newspaper.
Yeah.
And it just really resonated with us how much we love just going through a newspaper instead of our phones, you know?
Yeah, it's a neat pastime, especially when you've kind of put it by the wayside and you kind of forget I mean, you had decades of doing it growing up, and then when you were younger, and you think, oh, that's a ritual, if you want to call it that. That's pretty calming and soothing. I think it's something older people especially still like to do.
Yeah.
And younger people will probably never realize
I was
it,
going to
but,
say, there's probably people in this world who've never even picked up a newspaper.
yeah, yeah.
Some adults in this world who have never done it because
Yeah.
they grew up in a time that just didn't have them on the
Mhm.
regular.
Yeah. And looking around, I think there's a lot that never picked one up, even pre-digital times.
That's true. That's true. Well, number 2 is one of my favorites, and
Uh-huh.
it's spending Saturday morning at a farmer's market. We love a farmer's
Yeah.
market.
Uh-huh.
It sort of turns an ordinary errand into like this event part of the weekend. So
Yeah.
instead of rushing through a self-checkout line, you get to walk from booth to booth. You get to
Mhm.
see what's in season, talk to the people who grew or made what you're buying.
Yeah.
It might be fresh produce. It could be bread or handmade goods, honey,
Mhm.
dog biscuits, things like that.
Mhm.
Farmers markets, really, no matter where you go, if you're visiting or where you live, if you're fortunate enough to have one, but it's a really great way of connecting you to that location. So if we're traveling and there's a farmer's market, we love visiting because it's a
Uh-huh.
really great way of sort of visiting through the back door. It's like being a part of that community You may arrive for tomatoes and leave with a candle, a pastry, and maybe even a new friend, if you want that.
Yeah.
That's just part of the experience.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I know when we were living in Beaufort by the coast, um, there was a pretty big crowd that
Yeah.
still thought that was cool to go to a farmer's
Yeah,
market
that's
'cause
true.
it's very popular, yeah. So, but yeah, it's not as mainstream as just going to your supermarket, of course,
Yeah. Yeah.
So but it's a neat thing. I like this next one a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and eating at local diners, which I just did a week or so ago, and that was a capacity crowd on a Monday morning in this diner. So my first time there, but it was obvious it was pretty popular with folks, locals.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, once again, maybe more of a dying thing, especially you wouldn't see it in more urban areas. I think, but the local diner, hey, it's always a staple in my book.
I'll tell you a local diner that I really love that we found while we were traveling was in Hartford.
Yes, and that
This is
was.
from that.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
was kind of around the corner from the place we were staying, and we found it. I don't know. I think you found it
Mm-hmm.
looking up diners. I can't remember what it was called now, but
Yeah.
it was a great diner, and those folks were we
Yeah.
love sitting at the counter
Mm-hmm.
when
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
they're cooking right there in front of you, and
Yes,
the
yes.
server may or may not have been there for 30 years.
Uh-huh.
And they're
I had
amazing.
to think about that for a second, and then I was like, oh, Hartford, because I was thinking of New Haven, because Connecticut's we
Oh
went
yeah.
there. But yeah, the one in Hartford was great. That was kind of one of the highlights of that
Yes.
short trip we took.
Yes. It
Um,
was really good, but
hmm
it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just one of the places in a town that you can kind of get the feel of it. You hear conversations. If you're
Yeah.
like me, you can't even you can't even help the fact that you eavesdrop constantly. Some call it nosy. I call it eavesdropping, and I sort of wish I didn't have that ability
Yeah.
because it's very
Yeah.
distracting. Um,
Right. And the less fancy, the better, actually, I
yes,
think, because
yes,
there's if you can go in there, it's not too fancy. You feel like you can kind of just go in there dressed any way you want and probably talk about what you want. There's less pretentiousness, all that kind of thing.
and the
So,
food matters, of course.
of
It's
course,
if
yeah.
it doesn't have to be fancy to have really great food.
Mm-mm.
But it kind of sucks. Even if you go to a fancy restaurant and the food is not good, it's like, ugh, you just don't like it. So
Yeah,
I think there's something really great about a diner that has amazing food.
that's true. And well, and two, if you just got to get somebody that knows how to cook an omelet, and it's hard to really go wrong with that. I think unless you get a really inexperienced cook, but if you got somebody who knows what they're doing, I mean, an omelet and home fries and toast is just.
Unless your omelet, people can mess that up. They can put a piece of sliced cheese sitting on it.
We've seen that.
We've seen it a few
Yeah.
times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
We digress. Well, number 4 is one that, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I don't try to make it a habit, but when it happens, when it's a lovely opportunity, it's really great. But it's chatting with strangers.
Yeah.
So talking to someone you don't know, of course, can feel suspiciously social, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
but if you're in a situation,
Mm.
whether you're standing in line at a coffee shop or you're walking your dog on a trail, or somebody sits beside us at a bar,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes those casual comments can turn into these really great conversations
Yeah.
where you get recommendations of the places that you're visiting or the place that you live
Mm-hmm.
or, just funny stories. Gosh, Jerry and I have little quips and quirks of things that we say and do of people that we've had conversations with years ago,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
on
That's
different
true.
situations. But
Yeah.
it's a really great it's weird that it's kind of an old-fashioned thing to have a conversation in person with a stranger, but it's true. But you don't do that anymore.
No, no, you don't. And actually, sometimes if it progresses too much, and the person has said to me, "I feel like I've made a friend today," I say I prefer you remain a stranger. Because I enjoy chatting with strangers. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, Jared, not every conversation needs to become a friendship.
That, yeah.
sometimes it's just nice to share a few minutes with another person. Now, I will say this, and I don't think she cares if I say it. If I go somewhere with my mom,
Uh-huh.
oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just a little short conversation. I have this thing that I do when she goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
I tell her, "Hey, oh, we got this thing we have to get to," and I like get her out of there because she could go on for a while, and you could get people like that, and that's fine. But just have an out.
Yeah, you need an out.
Yes.
Number 5 is going to the library, and not cool, you say? Well, I say cool. Still cool, always will be cool.
Yes.
And once again, I think there's a pretty good little chunk of society that still thinks a library is a cool thing.
Yeah.
I think like when living in a new place, it was one of the things I looked forward to the most of discovering whatever the new library was, because I liked the one that we had where we lived before.
Yeah. But I love the one we're at now.
And this one's even better. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot better, actually. So, yeah, you can borrow books, read newspapers and magazines, just sit down and look at your laptop, scroll your phone, attend events. They have like a lot of libraries. This one does a real good job of it, having a little what you call like a bulletin board of things as you walk into local events and stuff. And they actually have a whole room of local history, which I haven't done yet. But, at some point that might be something that would be interesting.
I think people forget, we love reading, and there's a lot of people who do love reading. And when a new book comes out, I am all about supporting writers, supporting authors, supporting local bookstores, of course. But I think, finances can be a hindrance to people wanting to get a book. And, these days a book can be $28 to $30. And so if there's a book that you want, first of all, there's plenty of ways that you can go about getting it used or borrowing it, but you can go to the library and request that new book. And you might have to wait a week or so, but you can request it and then get on the list and then get it and save yourself $30 and read the book and return it instead of it sitting on a shelf forever, just kind of staring at you. But, the libraries, like Jerry said, many reasons it's a great place. I go and have just like work days there where I can get away from the house work, like, because we work from home and just kind of a quiet space. I can just go and work for the day and get a lot done. But there's just a whole world of things in your library that it does maybe sound old fashioned, but gosh, I just really, really love it.
I do too. I like to walk around and pick up a pile of books, sit at the table with them, and then weed through which ones I might want to take home, and then put the others back on the shelf and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, that's always fun. You want to talk about number 6?
I will start it out. Yeah. So number 6 is listening to an entire album. So if you don't know, if you've never received an album before or purchased an album and listened to an album, the reason I love listening to albums the way it is because when the artist puts it together, they put it together in this storytelling way. Usually there's usually a reason they put 1 to 5 and then you turn it over and have the 5 to 10, whatever the songs are. There's a reason. And I've heard artists say that. Please listen to this from front to back in the order, because that's how it was intended. When you get it on musical like platforms and you're streaming it, it just comes to you however. It doesn't necessarily come in that order. And gosh, I love streaming music. It's great. What a wonderful thing. But there's something about not shuffling through a playlist, like letting the album roll through and listening to it the way that the artist intended. We just recently got this vintage Bluetooth record player that we love. And
it looks like a little suitcase. You open it up and
the old wood grain suitcase. Yeah, it's super cute. And you do start to notice how one song moves into the next. And I kind of forgot that feeling. and you give the music time to grow instead of just searching for the song. And you don't want to go over there and start skipping through songs to songs like you would on a streaming platform.
Yeah, or even like you could have done on a CD player with the vinyl.
Yes.
It's just not worth it to try to lift the needle up. And it's hard to land it down on the next track anyway, so then you could scratch the record too. So yeah, all that stuff comes into play. It's like just let it play from start to finish.
I love that you say that about the CD player. It reminded me, there was this interview with George Michael back in, I think it was the mid 90s, late 90s, and he was saying that he really disliked the shuffle button on the CD player because he's like, you're messing up what I've created. Like you're listening to it in a way that the story doesn't flow. And I think about that with playlists, and when someone comes out with a new album and you go to Spotify or whatever and you listen to it, it never comes to you in the order that they put it out.
Yeah, no, and there is a lot of advantages to the streaming music.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty cool, but there is definitely something to be said for that. And I think a lot of people do love vinyl, but I think people that have come up, like younger people have come up on just streaming, or just so used to that the songs skip around, and there's their little algorithm picks certain style of music for them, and they just kind of roll with it, and it's kind of easy. It's convenient to do. I do it too.
Yeah, I do too.
And I'm not that young, and but something to be said. Now, kind of the advantage to that sometimes, an album that had some good songs, but it had a lot of filler on it.
Sure.
And then you go, oh, I can stream and just cut out that song, and that song, because it wasn't the best album, but it had some good tracks, and then you can make your own little playlist out of it.
Sure.
So there's advantages as well, but nothing like playing a side of vinyl.
And I do love creating my own playlist. I do love that. I like having just the songs that I like on a playlist and listening to it, but we're talking about old-fashioned things that we like, and one of the things is definitely listening to an album straight through, turning it over, and then finishing it. I just love that.
Yeah. Oh, and I might mention too, I don't think I even mentioned this to you. I've been usually when I'm here by myself and I'm doing housework and we have this new turntable, I had put my albums in alphabetical order, and there's probably upwards of 150 albums there. Most of them go back. It's when I was younger. I started collecting them in my teens. And so I've been going through them A to Z and just listen to a select side off each album as I go through. And I think I'm up to the C's now, because I was just listening to an Elvis Costello record. There was a few of those in there. And so I'm doing that. And I just pick one side of the album and play it through.
Okay.
It's kind of fun. I'm hearing songs and album sides I haven't heard in ages.
I mean, see, I love that.
Taking me back.
Yeah.
I want to move on to number 7 now. Yeah, because I think we've exhausted number 6 with good reason, of course. But 7 is browsing bookstores without a shopping list.
Very similar to libraries, but I guess in this sense, it's like usually when you want a book, you just get online and find the book. But there's something about walking through a bookstore, especially an indie bookstore.
Yeah.
And just seeing what jumps out at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. And yeah, there's just a shopping list doesn't really go that well with a bookstore anyway. Last time I was in there with one, I asked the guy, "Where do I find the milk?" And he said, "You brought the wrong shopping list."
And he said, "Do you mean a book about Harvey Milk?"
How did you know it went that way? Oh, nice reference.
Right?
Wow. Pretty clever. Played by
Sean Penn.
An extraordinary performance. So ordering a book online is, of course, efficient, and as many things are online, but there's always that something missing. Wandering through a bookstore is an activity. You read covers, you flip through pages, notice staff recommendations, and a lot of times you engage the staff and they're just happy to do it. They want to talk about the books.
Yeah.
That's the reason they work there, right? And you end up in a section you never planned to visit.
Yeah.
Indie bookstores are great, and they can tell you a lot about a community. My favorite indie bookstore is Women and Women First. You may find books by regional authors, local history sections, community bulletin boards, and events you didn't know were
It's
happening.
very similar to the library.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love both of those.
Uh-huh.
Okay, number 8, stopping at roadside attractions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If I could tell you how many times I have pulled a car over to safely, I might add,
Yeah.
to take a picture
You mean you
with,
pull your own car over?
yes,
Okay.
my own.
Yeah. You
Uh,
put up like a little light on your dashboard and pull
No,
somebody over. Okay.
No.
That's
To
good.
take a picture with a dinosaur.
Uh-huh.
I've done that.
Yeah.
We've done it with the was it the fisherman man or the farmer down near Harker's Island?
Yeah.
We
The
we
big
just
guy, yeah.
yeah, we just
Uh-huh.
love world's largest rocking chair.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna stop.
Uh-huh.
A museum devoted to Bush's beans.
Yeah.
You tell us the hours and we're going to be there. Maybe going on the side of the highway up into a huge sombrero.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we need a photo.
I think you're talking about the famous south of the border.
I am.
On the North Carolina, South Carolina border.
And there's so many people who make fun of it and just drive through it going, that's so lame. But let me tell you something. It's a good time for about 20 minutes.
yeah.
I mean, it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Roadside attractions are just one of those things that remind us that travel doesn't have to be polished. It can be a little impulsive.
Yeah.
It can be weird, but gosh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It also just encourages you to take some breaks, get off the interstate, visit some of the smaller towns,
Mm-hmm.
just some of the things that you may have seen a million times, or maybe it is something exciting. I mean, I feel like if you just pay attention, there are so many things you got to go, wait a minute, I got to stop and see that, because did I just see that?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty hilarious.
You know, if you're going by and if you have kids and they're telling you, oh, that's not cool, we want to go to the Wawa or the, what's the other one called?
Buc-ee's?
The Buc-ee's.
Oh, God.
And you're like, then you tell your kids, I'll show you what's cool. And you take them by the old-fashioned roadside attractions. In this case, we're talking about south of the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, then your kids get a little bit of an education. Get them out of Wawa. Get them out of Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm up on my soapbox now. But number 9 is repairing things instead of replacing them.
Oh, I love this.
Some think this isn't cool anymore.
I know they do.
Yes.
Some people would rather just spend that money.
That's right.
I
But
don't
I
get
can
it.
guarantee you there's a niche crowd out there that still says this is cool to repair things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not the mainstream.
It's not.
Yeah. So modern life has trained us to replace things the moment they become inconvenient. A button falls off. A chair gets scratched. Or an appliance stops working properly, and our first instinct is to often start shopping, which is really convenient now because you can just have it delivered to your doorstep. you
Yeah.
know? So repairing something takes more patience, but it also helps appreciate what we already own.
It does.
I experienced this the other day with our trash can has a air compression lift up and down on it, and it had stopped altogether. So I had to take the little thing out of the trash can and figure out the mechanisms. I did get it working for a while. Now it's working, but it doesn't have the air compression, but I have to go back in and figure out how to do that. But it was kind of cool. It's like, oh, look at the...
Yeah.
It was not the most fancy thing, but it's like, oh, this is how they did this.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun to fix
And you
it.
know, repairing it takes more patience,
Yeah.
but it, like you said, it does help you appreciate more. It's like
Yeah.
sewing a small hole in a shirt or a pair of jeans, or, you know, taking your shoes to be resoled at the bottom, like not sold like you're going to sell them, but
Yeah.
which you can do, but having them repaired, or learning how to fix something yourself. You know, one of the things that we did when we moved recently was taking an old wooden pie safe and refinishing it and making it where we store our linens and towels and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That
it
is.
makes me appreciate that,
Yeah, that's really cool.
you know?
And it is also cool to see how things work sometimes. I think there's
Yes.
a whole podcast or something, how things work.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So sometimes you don't think about simple things and you go, oh, a little thought went into that, you know?
Yeah. And you know, you're of course keeping things out of the landfill.
Mm-hmm.
You're reducing waste. You're saving money. And it helps to treat things differently. Like not everything we own is disposable. You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
maybe think about the quality of things when you buy them and see if this breaks. Is it something I'm going to be able to fix?
Mm-hmm.
I think just old-fashioned resourcefulness deserves a comeback.
It definitely does, and it's definitely still cool in our book.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, number 10,
Number 10.
sitting on the porch and doing nothing.
That's a lost art.
It is a
Yeah.
lost art,
Yeah.
and you can have something to drink if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch the people in the neighborhood or the cars go by, whatever. People
Yeah.
can wave at you or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some men who maybe have very low self-esteem and need to fix their mufflers. You know,
Yeah.
whatever the situation is. I was going to go a different way with that, but I thought, well, we'll keep it clean. But
That's a condition of low self-esteem. I like that.
it is.
I guess it is.
It
right?
totally
Yeah.
is. I mean, why else do people do that? Let me
Look at
just
me.
let me just tell you, men, because I honestly, if there's women, tell me if you've done this. I don't know any women. I've never seen a woman who has a truck that needs to fix their muffler or a car who needs to lower the tone of that muffler. There are men who go and do this and make their muffler loud.
Yeah.
I promise you, guys, I promise you, there are no women or men who go, oh man, that is sexy.
Right.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody is saying, wow, that is so loud and obnoxious and it really turns me on.
Yeah.
Nobody. Okay? All right.
Yeah.
Now I was on my soapbox. Let's get back to
So
it.
you can do that all you want, driving down the road. Hey, listen to my guy, but nobody is going to be as impressed as you are.
Nobody. So let's get back to it. Sitting on the porch, balcony, patio, front steps, whatever you have access to. Maybe it's sitting out on the stoop of your window, whatever. It gives your brain a chance to stop processing information, especially inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the same thing we talk about, it just being outside. You notice birds, all the small things happening around you. Now, I'll tell you, I'll give this another challenge. Go outside and sit and do nothing and leave your phone inside. Because Jerry and I, you know, we've talked about this before, that we love porching it, but there's been plenty of times that we've gone out with a glass of wine or something and we have our phone in our hands.
Yeah,
and we just have to put them down.
Uh-huh.
No productivity, no multitasking, no reason to turn it into content. Just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we love it and we need more of it.
Yeah, like the old cheer goes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. This one's become a favorite and may not be that cool anymore. And I know this because where I get my mail at the P.O. box, the guy told me nobody else has a magazine. No, he told me yours is the only one. We get the New Yorker.
Well, what's number 11? Why don't you tell them what it is?
Oh, sorry. Number 11 is reading printed magazines. So we have a P.O. box, and apparently we were one of two people that got magazines, and the other one is now deceased.
To be fair, we get one magazine. We get one.
We get one.
We don't get a bunch of subscriptions. And we do love digital magazines and stuff because of reduction of waste.
Yeah.
However, we love the New Yorker magazine
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
But that was
yeah,
funny when you told me that.
I know. I was like, I should have been like, can I have hers too? No,
Yeah.
2 magazines.
I mean, you know, there's no alerts and videos and all that stuff. You could read one
Yeah.
article, fold it down, keep moving along. But here's what I love more specifically about
In
the
this area, she was probably getting some like country kitchen quarterly or something.
Yeah, we got it. We're
Okay.
probably, you know what, we might be the only people, gosh, definitely in this town that gets the New Yorker.
Oh, we are.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we get the New Yorker, and the thing about it is, when we do read it from the beginning to the end, we
Yeah.
love it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And when we're done, we take it to the library and donate it to the little area that has like free reading materials.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that people love that too, because when we used to go to the library in Beaufort, we would pick them up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the great thing about a magazine. If you really love a magazine, don't get it just for the junk like you want. I used to be that person. I'd get Vanity Fair or whatever, and I was just like skimming through it, seeing the hottest thing, and then recycling it, like getting rid of it.
Yeah.
But if there's a magazine you really love to read the articles like we do, like the New Yorker, and you indulge in it,
Mhm.
we, you know, just when you're finished, donate it to your library because that reading material is still like a book,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and it used to help back in Beaufort. I love the Atlantic Monthly, and these,
Yeah.
like the New Yorker, those magazines have been around for probably over 100 years,
Yeah.
so they're really well established. I love that one, and some guy or gal used to read theirs and drop them off, and I would sometimes they wouldn't drop them off just one every month. There'd usually be 3 or 4 at a time, and if I hit it the right time, I don't know if anybody else wasn't getting them, but they were usually, I'd be like, oh man, I got a hold of 2 or 3 Atlantic Monthlies. I'd enjoy that, and then I'd read them and I'd return them back to the library.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good thing to do. And
Yeah, it's content with a stopping point. You know, you're not going to keep scrolling
Yeah,
forever.
uh-huh.
We appreciate anything that doesn't try to keep us there until we forget why we picked up the phone. You know, it's just one of those, I think, those old school things like reading the newspaper that's just great.
Yeah. Number 12 is becoming a regular somewhere, and
And we talked last week about how to become a regular.
Yeah, and I guess the reason this is kind of doesn't seem cool anymore is because a lot of times people just don't have the time these days, and with their fast-paced lives or their busy lives, and they started talking about this in the last few years with a term called a third place.
Mm-hmm.
Like home being your first, your work being your second. Your third place is the place you hang out, where you can stop thinking about things for a while. An old-fashioned pub, a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
It could be your church. It could be a park,
Yeah.
something like that. So these things have always been kind of a staple of communities, and they get put by the wayside, become uncool, maybe because people don't have the time, but they're very important. It's where people connect. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, becoming a regular or a way, to connect somewhere is I think it's more needed these days because,
Mhm.
COVID changed so much to
Yeah.
where more people work at home. It's like us. We don't have, ours wouldn't be a third place. Ours would be a second place
Yeah.
because we work and live from our home.
Mm-hmm.
So then it seems like those interactions are more needed.
Yeah.
So you may not feel at home immediately, but returning to the same places, and if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, maybe do that, and just kind of tells you how to get to be a quote unquote regular somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just a simple way to connect to where you live, and it's one of those old school things again that
Yeah.
an app can't recreate.
We're going to go to a third place today. And when I say today, it might not be today for you because it won't
It's
be.
the
'cause
future. It'll be the
you'll
future.
be listening to this.
Or it'll be the
sometime.
past.
But on this day, right now, we're recording this afternoon, we're going over into town to this local brew pub. I'll give them a shout out. They're called Liquid Roots in Lenore, North Carolina. And we had gone last fall before we lived here. And we thought, oh, that's cool. We're there during Oktoberfest. And since we lived here now, we haven't gone. So we just designated this afternoon for a time to go there.
Yeah.
We're looking for it. That'll be a third place.
A second place, really.
A second place because work and home are.
Yeah.
We actually have 1A and 1B
Yeah, that's true.
work and home.
That's true.
So third place for a lot is a second place for us
Yeah.
getting out somewhere.
So
Yeah.
listen, maybe outdated or old fashioned isn't such a bad thing. We don't want to give up modern convenience. We still like having our directions read out loud to us while we're driving. We like to have things delivered when we need them.
Uh-huh.
We don't want to have to go get an encyclopedia to look up a topic. I mean, those were some things that we're glad are gone. But a newspaper invites us to sit down. A farmer's market connects us with the people around us. And a library lets us enjoy more while we own less.
Yeah, so maybe the old-fashioned things we love aren't really outdated. Have you heard of grandma homes?
Yes, grandma homes.
Actually, I have not.
We're going to link to it in the show notes, but grandma homes, it's a new I'd say new, but it's kind of a trendy way of decorating for people now is to go to a cozy feel that's like the way their grandma's home used to be.
Yeah.
So some people are getting like old-timey quilts and frilly pillows and things that make them have that warm, cozy feel.
Yeah.
It's like a retro nostalgia thing that's coming back to be popular these days.
And there's a lot of lazy, uncreative people out there that are going, oh, boy, great.
That's right. This will be
This
easy.
came back around.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I never updated
I don't have to change
in
anything.
40 years.
Yeah. But all of these things are of interest because they help us to live a slower, fuller life. And that's really what all of this is about. So even if it's not so secret anymore, we're glad that we are loving these things, and we hope that maybe you will too.
Adios. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from what we talked about, please share it with a friend.
It's a great way of supporting the podcast, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you are listening to us on.
And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That also supports us. You can always find us, the show notes, and sponsors who support the podcast at arneradventures.com.
And until next time, enjoy the journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.